guys, and welcome back to my channel, Tame Your Mind, Your Body, and Your Money, TYMBM. Today's gonna be about the money. Let's talk about the money. So sometimes when I look back, right, and I'm like, what is the one thing, like seriously, I mean, there are quite a number of things I wish I did in my 20s to help me set up better now that I'm in my 40s, but there's the one thing that I'm like, the thing, every time I think about it, the thing pains me. Although it is not too late, I can still, apply to my life, but time is the biggest resource, right? Time waits for no one, and time, things that I would have done, maybe that I would have set up maybe in my 20s, and then now 20 something years later, 25, they really start to get, dividends, you build equity and all of that. So that's the one painful thing, but then there's still time because I'm still at my prime and all of that. But for those of you out there, if you're like in your 20s or you're getting into your 20s now, maybe you're about to finish college, you're thinking about the future, here is the one money hack. The one money hack I wish I did. Now, some of us stay with our parents. Like me, I stayed with my parents. After graduating, I continued to stay at home. I continued, while I was working, I got a full-time job and all that, I continued to stay at home. But thinking about it, right, I shouldn't have stayed home for too long, because I stayed home, and then after about 4 or 5 years or so, then I went off to grad school, and then that was it. I was then out of the house when I was like almost in my late 20s. So, but here's what I wish I did a bit sooner. If I had maybe stayed home for about 2 years, working on all that, saving up my money, and then I would have gone to buy a house. So here's the one money hack that I want you guys, if you're out there, if you're in your 20s, if you're in your 30s, if you're single, or if you're married but you have young family, so a young family, right? So young children, maybe your children are still young, 1 or 2 years old, I guess, to where you're not really so concerned about which area you live in terms of the school district, because you do want to live, once you have children who are like of school age now, right? You want to live in an area that's got one of the best school districts. So if your children are younger, I mean, of course, except maybe you send your children to private school, in which case it doesn't matter where you live, right? But let's just assume the children are going to like the state schools and all of that. So the school rating or the district rating is important. But let's just say you're not there yet. You still got the young ones who are like under 5, right? So you can do this. It's what I call house hacking. What do I mean by this? So you're in your 20s, you want to buy your first house, but please, instead of, and you save up money for the down deposit, right? Or your parents are ready to help and all of that. But let's just say you have the down deposit, the down payment to make the deposit and all of that. Please, I'm begging you, and trust me on this one. Instead of going to buy a single family home, what's a single family home? So it's just either a standalone or a detached, just the one family that can stay in it, right? Instead of buying a single family home, please go and get a multi-family unit. And what's a multi-family unit? Either like a duplex, right? So we know what a duplex is. You've got two structures that look alike, but there's a family that can stay on one, and then there's another family that can stay on the other. Or you get a triplex. So again, just 3 units, right? It tends to be maybe one flat, 3, maybe a building that's got like 3 flats or 4 plexes, right? So basically what I'm saying is multiple homes. So instead of just buying the one single family home, get a duplex. So let's just stay on the duplex or even the triplex. Say you get a triplex, you get a building that's got 3 flats. You stay in one, right? Maybe stay on the top one or the bottom one, I don't know, just pick one. And then you rent the other 2 out. And guess what? The rent that you're collecting from the other 2 will help you pay for the mortgage on the property, right? So you're living, so think about it. You rent the other 2 out, you're staying in one. The rent that you're getting for the other 2 should at least help you pay the monthly mortgage amount every month. If it doesn't pay all of it and you have a little bit of cash flow left, it will help you pay majority of it, and maybe you just have to contribute just a little bit, right? And guess what? You do that, maybe you stay there for 2-3 years, right? You move out, rent that 3rd one out. Now you've moved out, right? So your unit is available. Rent it out. Now you have a 3-unit apartment where you've rented all the units out, right? And then the next house you move to, buy a duplex or buy a triplex again, right? Or maybe a duplex, you're like, okay, now I have a family, young family, so I need the space, I need backyard space. Okay, fine. Buy a duplex. Again, you and your family, you stay in one, right? And then you rent out to the other one. So by the time you know it and you retain these properties, by the time let's say you started doing this when you're 25 or 26. Do you know by the time you're like 36, do you know the type of equity you would have built on those properties? Meanwhile, your tenants are helping you pay down the mortgage. It's a win-win-win-win-win situation. I cannot, as in, if I could go back in time, this is exactly what I would do. And by now, I would have been I'd have been like a multi-millionaire in any currency, you name it. USD, GBP, Naira, Canadian dollars, any currency. A millionaire, easily, because we know on average, and it depends on where you are, right? History shows that the value of a property doubles every between 7 to 10 years. It just depends on where you are. Now, in some places, it doubles even more frequently, maybe every 4 years, right? 4 or 5, like in Nigeria. Oh my goodness, I know property prices just kind of it's very insane over there. Maybe every 2-3 years it's doubled. I'm like, whoa, okay, that's intense, especially in Lagos. But still, I think the gist of it is, if you're in your 20s, 30s, do this. If you can still do this, even now in your 40s and all that, right? Because maybe you're still single or you have young families, do it. Trust me. In 5, 7, 10 years from now, you will thank your future self will thank your present self for doing it, okay? This money hack is very important, and it is one of the ways the rich uses to generate and create generational wealth. Let's jump in the bandwagon. No, again, it's not too late. It is not. I see me in my 40s. I can do it. Although maybe not house hack, because now I have children. I'm concerned about the school districts, but you find a way to make it work. Find a way to maybe you start investing in just real estate, right? Maybe it doesn't have to be like a house hack, but now you start investing in real estate. So real estate investing is key. But if you're young, single, free, and all of that, this is one way to definitely get your right foot on the right door to building that generational wealth. You can do this, guys, okay?